All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and mute everyone except, let's see. All right, let me go ahead. Obviously, you guys gonna mute yourselves. Perfect. All right, well, happy Tuesday, everybody. I gotta say, I am so excited, and we had so many rank advancements come through last night, lots of exciting stuff. So we've got 2 new bronzes. We got Kelsey and Donna. And we have a brand new Royale in the house too, Cheryl Tetro. And I'm so excited. So real quickly, whoops, let me go ahead. I know we heard a little bit from Kelsey yesterday. So Donna, I was just wondering if you could share real quickly what you did. And I got to say, it was crazy. I'm messaging with everybody because the system took forever to update last night. Like, we were getting nervous that orders hadn't gone in, but finally they showed up. So Donna, if you want to say something real quick.
Yeah, I was like right on the edge of bronze, and I think I was 154 points from hitting bronze.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And at first I wasn't paying attention, and I thought, okay, I have a recruit whose auto ship is due soon. Let me just have her do it a day early for 154. So that puts me over the I should have just ordered myself. And she was on the wrong side of my tree, and I needed it to count on the other side. So then I put it through for my son, and it wasn't going through because his is due in a week. And I'm like, oh, I should have just did it myself, but it finally went through. It was so hectic.
Well,
We
the good news is,
like every minute.
well, the good news is now you've learned some things to look for, right?
Yes.
So it was a learning experience. But you got it done. But you got it done, and that's what matters. And I thought I saw Cheryl come in. Oh, yeah, I did. I see that she doesn't have her camera on, but Cheryl, if there's any way you're able to pop on, there you are. I just got to say, you like worked so hard over the last 4 weeks to make this happen. I'm so proud of you. Can you had a lot going on to, you know, it's a big jump from bronze to Royale because you're going from 2,000, 2,000 to 5,000, 5,000. And it opened up parts of the compensation plan she didn't even know existed. So that was pretty exciting too. But Cheryl, do you want to just share a couple words with everybody?
Sure. So I knew that when the volume from the Sparkle sale dropped off, that I was going to lose a lot. And so I set this goal basically at the beginning of the month. And I booked parties, and I got an agent's launch party going. And I just kept following up with people. And then my husband, actually, who is a nurse, started messaging some of his coworkers last night. And one of them ordered a ton of stuff. And she said, "Thank you so much for reaching out. I really need a lot of this stuff." And it's like, oh my gosh. So it was a team effort for sure with me and him. But yeah, like you said, that volume was not showing up, and I was getting so nervous. Even though I had it all written down, I just thought, it's not gonna work, but it did. So it was exciting.
Well, Cheryl, what could you say you learned from the experience?
Oh my gosh, what did I learn? Oh, you're putting me on the spot here, Trisha. You know, you always hear Jesse say, like, if you have a goal, then you just like make it a point, like tell the universe, like, this is going to happen. And I literally did that. Like, I just said, I have to make this happen, because being a teacher, August is crazy. And I know that my time will be more divided come next month. And so I just made a goal to myself, and every day I said, I have to make this happen. So it just was a non-negotiable for me.
I love that. I love that. And that's going to help us start out today. But a couple other things I want to point out. Well, first of all, I love that you were very intentional, right? You were intentional the entire month because you knew what you had to work for, right? So it wasn't like you were just working and if it happens, it happens. Like you were very intentional with your actions, which is why it happened, right? And in addition to that, what I love is that, well, first of all, I love that your husband actually reached out to people. That's amazing. That shows that he really was supportive and wanted to see you hit your goal, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And he'll enjoy Hawaii when you guys are there, because I know you took a bunch of points this week.
Yes.
But in addition, I think it's kind of cool that one of the gals said, I need this stuff, and you had no idea, and you wouldn't have known had he not asked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we, I know so many times, and I get it, and we really do teach online strategies, but even with that, Ruth and I talk about, you still have to reach out to people sometimes. They're not, even though it's attraction marketing, they're not always going to be the ones to reach out to you first. You've got to watch to see who's commenting, who's liking, who's sharing, who's kind of paying attention to your content all the time. That's going to help you know who some of those people are to reach out to. And obviously some people will always hide back, but it's going to help you when you're trying to figure out who to reach out to. So thank you for sharing, Cheryl. I'm so excited. And I don't know, being the first day of the week, your points probably aren't showing up in the trip tracker yet, are they? Have you checked?
No, they are.
Oh, they
I
are?
was checking that yesterday nonstop.
So if you don't mind sharing, where are you?
I'm at 59 right now.
Sweet. Great
Yeah.
job. That's
Very
awesome. Very cool. Well,
Yeah,
great.
that's how important it is to know your back office, keep track of where you're at, keep looking at your numbers and how far you are from getting to that next rank, and like make it an obsession. Like I check it every day.
That's awesome. Thank you, Donna, for sharing that too. Awesome, ladies. Well, that kind of leads us into what we were, going to be talking about today. And that's really where we were going. Hold on here. I just want to I don't want to mute. Okay. Oh, looks like you guys muted yourselves. Perfect. All right. So Ruth and I kind of wanted to share a little bit. We covered a lot on the team call last night, but really wanting to talk about those action steps for the first 90 days as well, and getting clear on why and sharing it with your accountability partner. And so I love that Cheryl had said what she said, because she did. She started telling everybody about it. She started telling people she was going to do it. Nobody wants to miss a goal that they've just told everybody about, right? I mean, nobody wants to, because then you're just making up excuses of why you didn't hit it. Now, sometimes you give it your all and it just doesn't work. But, when you really are working towards something, if you don't hit it, you're going to come pretty darn close. And you're always going to be further ahead than where you were. So really focusing on getting clear, on your why it is that you want this goal, what it's going to change for you in your life, what it's going to do for you in your business, and really sharing it with that accountability partner that we talked about. I know some of you have booked your calls already. You've already found your accountability partners. That's great. If you've missed the call last night, or if you haven't found someone yet, please find someone today who you can be an accountability partner with, and then let us know again what your goal is at the end of the 90 days for your rank, what your trip goal is, like what level, and then what date you plan on hitting that, because maybe you plan on hitting it before the end of the 90 days. But also then let's get your call set up with your accountability partner, because we're going to meet with you and your partner together. And then Ruth and I can be giving links out. So I just wanted to start with that. Ruth, you want to hop in? Add?
Absolutely. So some of you may be feeling like, 90 days, that's a long time, right? Are any of you guys feeling like a little bit anxious about it, about pushing for 90 days? No? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm getting a yes. I'm getting a couple yeses. So I want you to think about it this way. Creating momentum is what's going to make your business grow, number one. What you do today, you'll reap the benefits 90 days from now. Just like what for those of you who were back with us in the beginning, what we did back 90 days ago, it was wild. We really pushed hard. We're reaping the benefits of now, right? So you always want to be sort of future casting. What I do today is I'm going to set myself up for success in the future. And think about it like trying to push a car, right? You can't push a car with a little shove. You probably need some help from your team members, and you've all got to push together to get the ball rolling. Once the ball's rolling, things become a whole lot easier, right? To push that car once it's rolling, super easy. And to keep it going is easy when you don't stop, when you stay consistent, right? So that's why this 90-day push is so important, especially in network marketing, because it creates momentum. So first of all, like Trisha said, you got to know why you're doing this, because it's not always going to be easy. And you're going to have to tap into that why on some days. And having your accountability partner to help you through that on those days that you forget your why is key, right? It's going to keep that momentum going. One of the things we talked about yesterday was setting your schedule. So blocking time, taking those 7 secret action steps every day and blocking them between, you know, the things that you can do sort of in your off hours, like maybe reading the book or personal development, and things that you really need to be on with, and that's connecting with people. So blocking your time accordingly and committing to those times. Setting your social media posting calendar. So some of you have actually sent me your posting strategy and your calendars. Really great job doing that, because when it's down on paper and you know what you're going to be posting about every single day, at least sort of the flavor of the topic around it, you're way more likely to stay consistent, right?
Yeah, I love that shirt. Where'd you get it?
I went searching high and low for a shirt that said consistent, because consistency is probably one of the most important things you can do if you're building on social media. It really is. If you have followers and then all of a sudden you disappear for a week, you've lost them. So having that posting schedule is going to help you stay on track, accountable to yourself. And I recommend you share your posting calendar with your accountability partner, right? To help you stay accountable and consistent. So do you want to pick it up from here, Trish?
Yeah, and one thing I just want to add to that, you know, think about with your accountability partner, not only how you can help each other be accountable, but maybe you guys can share some of your strengths together. I know Ruth and I do this, but even when you're coming up with your posting schedule, maybe you guys can share some of your posts together, right? Like not posting together, but cross share them, so that you guys can help each other with content. You know, maybe somebody does 3 days for this week and the other person does 4, and next week you switch it or something. Again, you're going to tweak it to make it yours, but just having some ideas, but maybe you guys can help each other so that everybody's, you know, not doing so much. Leverage that a little bit. And I love that a lot of you are sharing your posting calendars with us. That's really helpful. And you guys, there's a lot of talent in this group. There really is. There's a lot of talent. So I love that. But picking also your target and your goal. So your target date and what that goal is by that target date, you know, that you guys want to achieve. And, you know, like Ruth was saying in the beginning, if 90 days is a little bit overwhelming, break it down and maybe set 30-day goals. You know, set your big 90-day goal, but back it up so that you're really only focusing on a smaller chunk at a time if 90 days is a little overwhelming to you. So those are some tips. And choosing the number of contacts that you are going to be making daily. Okay, so just like, you know, we talk about in that Secret 7, that you reach out to a minimum of 2 people at least 5 days a week. So you know that you're reaching out to at least 10 people a week. Well, that's kind of the minimum. And some of you are doing this full time. Now, a lot of you are not. I get that. So figure out what goal is best for you. You know, it maybe if you're doing this full time, you know, figure out what numbers is a better number for you, because 10 might not be enough if, you know, you're doing this full time. So be figuring out what that is, choose your number, and don't stop till you do it, right? That's one of the big things is like, you know, had last night not been the end of the week, had you guys maybe had till the end of the month, wouldn't you agree that probably not all the order, everybody would have, Thursday night would have been the big push, not last night, right? Because sometimes we let ourselves off a little bit, but think about that. Thursday night is another 1, 2, 3, 4 days away. And where, you know, you could have let yourself off the hook, but knowing what your deadline is each week, each day, so that at the end of the week, you're not trying to catch up, that you're keeping yourself on track on a daily basis. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then one thing that I do, I think Ruth does it, I'm not 100% sure, but I do daily affirmations. Daily affirmations on what it is that I want, daily affirmations that make me feel a little bit better, you know, about myself, things like that. Find some affirmations that are going to work for you. You know, I remember when I used to go out and cold prospect, you know, I would have all these little affirmations taped up on my mirror in my bathroom. And as I was getting ready, I'd be saying them, and they were silly. Like one of them was, I love people and people love me. Kind of sounds silly, but as I was going out and approaching perfect strangers, I had to have something that gave me, you know, the courage to go do it. So find things, you know, one of the things, you know, talking about going through gratitudes, you know, what you're grateful for, but be putting out there what you want too. You know, if it's an income, you know, that you're looking for, talk about, you know, that you deserve to receive that income, but that you're grateful for what you're receiving today, you know, because you can't ever get to what you want if you can't be grateful for where you're at. So be really super grateful for where you're at, but also know where you want to go. And so that you can be raising that bar for yourself and committing to yourself that you're able to achieve that. Ruth, you have any other things you want to add?
The only thing I want to add is don't let roadblocks stop you. It's time to get over those roadblocks. And I see it happen often. Like, let's say you have an idea about a Facebook Live video. This is just an example, but you're not sure if it's going to go over well, right? You're not sure if it's going to be effective. So you don't do it. You procrastinate about it, right? And then maybe it never gets done. Just try stuff. Just try stuff. If you think you have a great idea for something, don't procrastinate about it. Don't try and overanalyze it. Don't worry about it not being effective. Just get out there and do it, right? Because so often we get so caught up in our heads about, is this going to work? I don't know if it's going to work. Maybe if I do it this way, maybe if I do it that way. The only way to find out is to try it, right? And if you fall on your face, then you'll learn something. And I can't tell you how many things I've tried over the years that were complete busts, like complete busts. And it was, okay, it didn't work. You know, what might I have done differently? Or maybe that's just not a good strategy. Doesn't mean you're any less of a person. It just means that you tried something that didn't work, right? So it's time to let go of the roadblocks. It's time to just walk right through them and keep moving forward. If you think you've got a great idea about something, then go do it. There is no perfect solution. There isn't. If you feel like you're going to rock it on Instagram stories, then get over there and do it, right? If you feel like you want to do a podcast, then go and do it. If you feel like you want to do some product related Facebook Lives on your personal profile, go and do them, right? And see what happens, because you'll never know the answer until you try. And I used to get caught up in like just analyzing everything and then getting paralyzed and not getting anything done. And when we want to get into momentum, we got to be in flow. We can't be in analysis paralysis. We got to be in flow. We got to keep things moving. So that's my last piece of advice is kind of, if you feel like you've got this little roadblock and you're scared to do something, just go do it. Really, don't overanalyze it. Don't wonder if it's your mom's fault or your dad's fault because they said something to you when you were a kid. Just go do it, right? And analyze it and evaluate it, because now's the time, right? Now's the time to set us up for Black Friday and an amazing like Christmas season, and it'll set you up for an amazing business come, the new year as well.
Yeah, I love that. And I just want to add just a teeny to it because with Ruth and I both being CPAs, obviously we're a little analytical and too analytical sometimes. So this was an area I struggled because it was always like wanting to have everything be perfect, because in our accounting world, it kind of had to be all the time. And one of the things that I've learned though is done is the new perfect, right? Just getting it done, getting it out there. And I remember when I first started doing this, even Rob would question, he's like, why do you put, I'm like, because it's done. It's out there. Like, why wait 2 more weeks to try and get something out there because we never know what people are going to like. We never know what people are going to react to. And so like Ruth said, all we can do is get it out there, evaluate it, and that that getting it out there was our test, and then we're evaluating to see if it worked or not. And if we didn't, then we make changes to it. That's it. So just don't, just focus on getting it done, hitting your goals on a daily basis. So, and that's it. That's all I've got. Does anybody have any questions for us? No? All right. Well, I know Jesse will be back tomorrow. He'll also be doing the Hawaii accountability right afterwards for anyone who's doing that accountability with him. And so you guys have got another day to go get some points. So if you're not at those points that you told him you were going to have, I encourage you, go earn them today. And I hope you guys just have an awesome start to the week. Let's go out and crush it. And thanks for being on this morning.